So I would like to, I sent out Canvas emails earlier today, but I got the general nasty grams from the Office of Students or whatever it is that says, "Hey, not not a lot of people have actually filled out your course evaluations for this course." So, hey, Carrie, with
Hey.
the kitty, yay! Um,
Oh, Kermit.
so I'd like to remind y'all to to fill out those course evaluations. They email you and you email them back, or I don't know how you click on the link. Say nice things or say terrible things. I don't care. I've been promoted as much as I'm going to be promoted. So it doesn't matter to my promotions. And the economy is so terrible that no one's getting raises. So ha 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 ha. Nothing matters anymore. So hey there, Hannah. And what's Hannah's cat's name? Do we know? I don't know. She's
I advocate.
Tom. Tom. He's a tomcat. I get it. Uh,
Oh,
my dog went to the vet yesterday, and because she was having trouble chewing things, like we give her these greenies, and she goes and chews them, and she loves them, and she would chew half of it and then come running over to me and sit in my lap for comfort. So we think she's got a bad tooth. And now she's got a dentist appointment next Wednesday because they have to sedate her, put her under so that they can clean and really examine the teeth, and she might get a tooth pulled or two. So poor puppy. Okay, so let me pull up Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle.
we are seeing people we don't usually get to see.
It's very exciting
Wonderful.
in here.
Very exciting.
Purchases. So, let me. Let's go to page 2. Let's see.
Who is it this time? Who did it? Who reminded you?
No one reminded me. This is
Oh,
for other things.
oh, oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, um, oh, oh, oh. Huh. Okay.
I was gonna
Um,
adopt my kid's dog so that I could show up to class with a dog today too. He wouldn't let me.
okay. Um, let's see. What's in January? Anything good in January?
Ah, kitty. Olivia's got a kitty too.
No, I already gave Eddie. Eddie, remember how I gave you Dirt Rally 2.0? Let's see.
Wow, look at all these people.
Yeah. So I will send you to, actually this is apropos of nothing, but I noticed that there are 3 like DLC things for Dirt Rally 2. And since I gave Dirt Rally 2 to Eddie however long ago, I don't know if Eddie's actually here.
I don't think it is.
But I might as well give him the DLC that came with it. I just noticed that. I will forget again momentarily. Let's go to I'm just looking for one that has lots of games. Okay. No. I'm using too many of these games. June 2019. Was that a good? Okay, yes. Well, no, that's only one game. Okay, well, so first, the first person to solve um, the carrot cake ARG. I'm calling it the carrot cake ARG because I asked everybody what's the name of their ARG, and nobody could tell me what the name of this ARG is. First off, what's the name of this ARG? The 3 p.m. ARG. What did the players call it? Granny Quest, Grandma Quest. Okay. See, players always have a name for it. The creators were like, we don't know. I don't know, carrot cake, something. It is totally Granny Quest, the delicious legacy of Granny Smith. Uh, oh, you decided on Granny Quest. Okay, it's Granny Quest then. What were the players calling it? Were you calling it anything, players? Granny Smith, the ARG, the best ARG ever. Uh, uh, really, as players, or are you creators? The ARG, the other classes ARG, the other classes ARG. Okay, well, Ben, you were the first person to solve at least the first person to send me an email with the correct uh, win word. So if you could send me privately an email address, I will gift you a game. Dum dum dum. Come on, Ben.
Hey, games.
The game you are getting. Send an email, and I'm going to give you some DLC too. Okay, got it. I know this is going to be exciting. Actually, send an email. Control V. Send email. You are now the proud owner of a game called 911 Operator, where apparently you are a 911 dispatcher. And I am also going to gift you the 911 Operator Special Resources DLC. Because what am I going to do with it if I don't have the game, right? So there you go. Congratulations, you were the first winner of the ARG. Next, I wanted to ask. I believe I asked both classes, but among the 4 p.m. people who were playing, who was your MVP? Who was the person who solved things, kept things together, pushed people to go look at whatever, and cheered everybody on? Everybody voted for Rachel. Excellent. Rachel, send me privately an email. Congratulations. I don't have anything else there. Let's see. Rachel, are you a cat lover?
Yeah, yes, I am a cat lover.
Okay, I am going to send you a game called Puss. Which is apparently about cats. Copy. Puss. I saw this at PAX East, I don't know, 2 years ago. It is trippy. Just saying.
Yeah, look forward to checking it out.
Check it out. Have fun with it. Okay, and so I would like to ask someone who played, first off, to tell us the story of the ARG. And by story of the ARG, I don't mean then we saw this code, and Bob ran to this other. We couldn't figure out what the code was, and so that is the story of your experience with the ARG, which is different from the story of the ARG. Tell me the story of the ARG that starts with, well, there was this woman who had this recipe, and she needed it unlocked, and we helped her with that. So what I'm asking is, tell me the story, but leave out the gameplay stuff. You see, unless that is appropriate to the story. Can somebody do that for me? Can somebody raise their hand, maybe, or just unmute yourself and go? Ah!
I can try to explain.
Okay.
Understood. So there was Grannie Smith who was dead, and her grandmother was Lily, something like that, was trying to find her carrot cake recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right, Lucy, not
Lucy.
Lily. So Lucy was trying to find her grandmother's carrot cake recipe, and instead found some hidden files, which were like they were locked behind a password. Turned out to be a pecan pie recipe, which was not what she was looking for. She then she was so from here it gets a little bit more confusing and honest, and like this is where I sort of lost track of what was happening.
Okay.
So the
can somebody else pick it up
like
here then?
I remember like I have a little bit more detail from here, but it quickly reaches a point where like there were just things that I didn't understand. Basically what happened, she found more files on her computer. She found a video from the company her grandmother had worked at, which was it was the subsidiary of Golden Audio. I forget what it was called exactly. It was a guy making cookies. He had writing on his arm, and he had apparently been severely injured by his superiors for making a mistake previously. There was a lot of very strongly implied trauma and generally workplace abuse through that video. And then there was also another person who had who was on YouTube. His aunt had made an Easter egg hunt on his Minecraft server. It was an Easter egg. There was a bunch of cookies in chests around the world, and then beside the chest there were signs with the rest of the message. I don't know that it was ever explained how the message was broken up between this one guy who was apparently like an old video that was found on the computer. I don't know how recent it was supposed to be. And then this strange random person's aunt. I don't know that connection was ever explained.
Okay, hold on, because I'm getting a lot of I don't knows. So
yeah,
also your microphone is
yes,
like
I'm sorry,
the worst microphone ever.
I can't fix that. That's
I understand. That's
it's
why.
my computer.
That's okay. Can anybody else fill in the gaps here? Anyone? A player?
These were things that we were discussing right up until the end.
No, yeah, but there's also people don't want to talk. If you want to type things, I will read them aloud. Yes. Nothing. Okay. We'll come back to Jaden, even with your microphone. Keep
Yeah,
going.
I am so sorry about I'm so sorry about that.
That's
I cannot
okay.
fix it. Basically, so where I went from there, it was what we got was a okay. So through gameplay, we sent an email to Golden Audio, who gave us a link to um, a Spotify playlist with 3 songs on it: Ghost, Number 5, and Ghost. The significance of the songs was never explained, and
Ghosts.
the yeah, we kind of figured that it was about something like saying something about ghosts. But if there was payoff to that, I never saw it.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Is what did Ardia want?
They wanted a time travel device. I think, pretty sure it was a time travel device.
Okay, and
Supposedly we found, but I don't.
why did
know.
how was it? How did it come from Granny Smith's recipe?
Her recipes were like breadcrumb trail to the location of the recipe. Not the recipe, the location of the mechanism.
That was a time travel device.
Apparently.
Okay. Okay. So Granny Smith somehow knew where there was a time travel device.
She was apparently it was something that was passed down through the family. It was like a guardian, like an inheritance thing.
Okay.
Heirloom guardian sort of situation.
Okay. And in your head or in your experience, who was the good guy and who was the bad guy, or the villain and the hero?
The hero was definitely Granny, because from what we saw, Golden Audio was very abusive to their workers and was.
So
but we never really found out what they wanted the machine for in what I saw.
Okay,
so they could have wanted it for something good, but not sure.
Okay, so according to Rachel, Granny was the guardian of the time machine. Ghost Granny was trying to get the message to Lucy to find the time machine so Lucy could become the new guardian. Apparently, Granny died unexpectedly or without passing on the secret to Lucy, and had to do it through these codes and such. Any idea how Ardio got wind of the time machine and why they were pursuing it? What was their ultimate goal? What did they want from, I mean, aside from now I have a time machine? Was there something that they wanted to do? Did they want to go back in time and kill Hitler? Did they want to go forward in time and deliver packages before they were posted? Or back in time? No idea what Ardio's ultimate motivations were. The person in charge of Ardio was a distant family member and knew of and wanted it. Okay, so and just to have a time machine, to make money, to rule the world. Any ideas?
That's speculation. To like that, I don't think that was ever like explained.
Okay, I'm just asking, because
There was
there is no fault. I'm not trying to say you didn't get it. I'm trying to see what you pieced together from the pieces that you got. So there was some argument or fight between the families, and Granny's side won, and
there's also
how
there
they
was
got.
also
Yeah.
there was also one more character who was apparently in contact with um Granny's ghost. I don't. They didn't. They seemed to be, yeah, Lauren
Yeah.
Solstice. She was like, she knew Granny before Granny died. Potentially worked at Golden Audio. I do not know. I don't know that we ever got any real backstory on who she was, why she was there. We don't even know if she's alive or not. We just know she has a Snapchat and a Spotify with 3 songs on it.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah, that was.
and so you successfully passed on the um I don't know, the secret of the time machine to Lucy, and thus won. She was a ghost, maybe ghost number 5. When you won, what did you accomplish?
We kept Golden Audio from getting their hands on a time machine, and kept it in the hands of the family protecting it.
Okay.
That's all we
So you
really.
preserved the status quo. You
Yep.
you rejected the stranger who came to town, which is Artio trying to get the recipes, the machine, the time machine. Okay, cool. So here's first thing I want to ask about your experiences. Was there anything confusing? Was there any time? And this is not just for Jaden. This is for everyone again. Is there anything that you got stuck on, that you found confusing, that you're still unsure about?
I can talk about that to give Jaden a little break.
Sure, Jared, tell me about that.
So Saturday, we have no idea like what we were supposed to find. We eventually like found the list of assets on the Golden Ardea website. So we solved a light bulb puzzle. I solved a light bulb puzzle that Rachel found the link of on Saturday, but then you guys sent out a forum post leading to the same thing on Sunday. So I have no clue what we were supposed to do on Saturday.
Can someone can some of the creators talk about that? Anybody?
Hi. So that was actually one of the kind of unintended things. Actually, I think that was like the only major mistake the entire time. So we had everything stored under a link for assets, and for some reason we never caught the fact that if you went to that assets page, which is clearly visible in the URL of the other pages we linked, you can go and see all the other puzzles. So people access that puzzle early, and that's why we were scrambling and thinking, wait, hold up, why do people already know the answer to this puzzle? I'm assuming it was Rachel who posted that blog post.
Yeah, I posted as perennial on like both of the blogs.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, I started seeing all these messages flying that maybe there was a mole, that maybe somebody had told the players how to get to a puzzle that they weren't supposed to get to yet, that they had already solved something that's supposed to be from Sunday, but they had solved it on Friday, I think. And it turned out among the players that you had, I don't know, just started hacking around with URLs, I think, or
It wasn't even hacking. It was just like a silly oversight. Like we straight up just didn't realize that the URL was plainly visible, and then
Ah,
If anybody with common sense would look at it and be like, "Oh, this is part of a folder."
so Rachel, you were about to say something because I think you were the one who found it.
Yeah, because like from like the Snapchat story that you guys had posted, so it had like I assume it's like part of the puzzle for that day. Like you could like you're supposed to like notice like the URL and find the like rdocorp.com/assets/carrotcake.zip. So like we found that the day before, and then like you guys like posted the Snapchat story 2 days in a row. So like I assumed we had missed something. So I tried like that URL, like, just like getting rid of the carrotcake.zip and just going to /assets, and I found.
Yeah. So there was no collusion. I'm happy about that. There was just weren't as locked down as you thought you were, and a reasonably inquisitive player would start looking around in file folder directories, that sort of thing, and found it early. So oops, right? But then that led to Jared saying, well, wait, what are we supposed to do now? Because there was still things like they could count. So things got out of order, Lena.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Basically.
so did they do like 3 or 4 things on Friday and then nothing on Saturday? How did it work out?
Yeah, there just ended up being a lot more work done the day before. And then we were like, oh, well, now there's nothing for the next day.
Okay. And you just let that sit and said, well, I guess we'll wait till Sunday.
Yeah, we thought like, okay, say it is a mole or something. We can't really acknowledge it. So we're just gonna treat that blog post reply from Rachel as you know, as someone trolling. We're not gonna acknowledge it because then people are gonna pay attention to it. Um
Okay.
but we just let things slide and continue on their normal path.
Also, Jaden says the mechanism we found on Monday didn't even match the description of the mechanism we found before, which was confusing. Was that an art thing, or was that?
I don't know what that's in reference to.
Can somebody else talk about that? What is the mechanism that they found on Monday, and who wrote the description of the mechanism before that? Or is Jaden confused?
They might have been 2 different things. The thing, but like, it seemed like the mechanism we found on Monday was the Antikythera mechanism that was described before, and that was described as having like an X-shaped knob that you would turn to select a date and then turn again to activate. But what we found was like a figure 8 with 2 dials, and it was.
Those were the things you had to turn.
It might have like it might have been like a lock or I just wasn't clear what we were looking at.
Okay. Well, the Antikythera, is that how you pronounce it? Antikythera, something like that.
Yeah, so modern interpretations of the mechanism have that 2-dial structure, and the turning bit that was hinted towards earlier was in reference to those 2 dials.
Okay.
I think if you Google Antikythera mechanism, it's like a box with 2 dials on it and circles around.
Yes, I think that is correct. But yes, but there was a previous description where it was described as it only had one thing, which was an X-shaped knob that you turned to select a date, and then you turned a different way in order to activate or deactivate it. Which
I mean,
never
I
really
don't
seemed
know
to
where
come
that
up.
description came from, but if you could find
It
it.
was just
Nick just
in-
posted a thing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
When looking at the front of the mechanism, you see that mirrors a large X. If you spin the X 90 degrees to the left and then back 90 degrees where it was originally, the mechanism will project a date out of the center part. By spinning the X to the left, the date will go back in time. Blah, 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 blah. But do we have a picture of the mechanism?
You one.
Yes. Throw me one.
Communication between
Can we throw one on there? Yeah.
Let me find one on Google.
I can. Okay. And to configure a mechanism. Here it is. I got it.
Got it?
Images. Here, I'll throw it up there. Share screen. Share. So that's an actual thing, and then this looks like what somebody tried to reconstruct it, right? Or this.
Yeah, the idea that we used for the last one is more that one at the bottom right
This one?
from nature.com.
Oh, here, nature.com, that one.
Yeah.
So just within the first page of Google, there's a bunch of different, well, this is what it looked like, right? I mean, well, this and this look like the same thing, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
There's the front and the back, right? So this is the front, this is the back. But if you can't see the insides, you don't see the X, right? So we've got the description with the X, which is from that, I think. And then when we actually see the thing, the X is kind of covered up by plates. I don't know. They're all the same thing, and if you just Google the darn thing, you can see that there are different interpretations. I don't think that's major, but I can see how it would be confusing. But okay. Another question for players. What was there a time? What was the coolest experience that you had while playing? What was there a time when you said, oh my God, you had a eureka moment, or you got shivers because you heard some weird video or tape or something? What was your favorite point in the ARG? Ben says discovering the time travel was a thing was pretty wacky. How did that happen? Was that a reveal? Did you put it together? Did somebody tell you? The mechanism document. Can we see the mechanism document? Somebody, writer, somebody? Yes, no.
That's the one that was.
It was the same
posted a
thing.
little bit up above.
I will share it. Oh, I remember this. So we can spinning forward in time. So isn't that interesting that it's just a paragraph of text and that little picture, and that's like, oh my God, it's time travel, right? Where suddenly you're in a different world. I got chat. The picture wasn't there originally. We found out about time travel after solving the carrot cake puzzle on Friday, which I'm confused as to why it was posted twice. Well, that's because I think that's part of the you got ahead of where they thought you were supposed to be, and then they just kept going with their schedule. Yeah, you got to head on. You got to head on Saturday. I don't know. Can somebody address that from the makers? Found out about time travel after solving the carrot cake puzzle on Friday. The stuff you found on Friday was a mistake. The assets page was a mistake. You weren't supposed to see that yet. So you got ahead of the time. It's almost like you time traveled. Oh,
It was intentional the whole time.
exactly. So claim it, right? Okay. So what was supposed to happen Friday? Rachel wants to know. What was the total plan for Friday? Something about a newspaper. Avery says, I'm art. I made a newspaper. Can we get a writer or a producer? Nobody wants to talk?
So on Friday, you were supposed to. We had another small issue with the autoresponder for the like Lauren beats at ardeocorp.com, where I think there was just some miscommunication between us and tech, where we intended to not have it respond to you for a day, but it responded to you in an hour. So you were supposed to get the Spotify playlist and then the Snapchat puzzle on Friday. And then you would get, and then on Saturday, you would use those to get the password and the files, and then start figuring out how to get into the files to learn the information. So then, because we had that, like, that's when our two issues were, you had just like a lot of stuff to do on Thursday. So then you like substituted in the stuff on Friday with the stuff that was meant to happen on Saturday. And then some of that, and so then Saturday was really confusing because there was stuff blending together with like what was supposed to happen on Sunday, but with what was supposed to happen on Friday. It was just, yeah.
So it was a mishmash of, but it worked out. It was fine. There are no, there were no horrors here. There was just a little confusion and a little mix up, and all the story beats got out. All the gameplay beats got out. I see you all typing. Okay, so any other questions for the makers? Or makers, do you have any questions for your players?
Did you guys have fun?
Hey, thank you, Liv.
I had a lot of fun playing you guys' game.
Yeah, I don't want to be too negative. Like, everybody seemed to be having fun. The story was quite a twist from Su Yi. Zach's giving you thumbs up. From what I could see on the various discords, people were engaged. People were talking. On Saturday, there was a lot of, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But then it picked up again. Jared left. No, I don't know. So stuff pops around. Jared.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I signed up to play on Saturday, like,
Yeah.
cause I've had a really busy end of the term here with finishing up my MQP and stuff. So, like, when Rachel found the link to the assets page, like, I was happy that I had like done something and like solved the puzzle. But then all of us were just collectively like, what now? What did we miss? We must have missed something. So that was just my experience, because I didn't really have the chance to play too many other days.
Yeah. One of the things that I always see happening is when players are confused, they want to be reached out to by the characters, and I always my instinct is always, I'm gonna email a character and tell them where we are and why we're confused, and say, what should I be doing? I don't know. I'm dumb. And just come out and ask. And everybody else is, well, I see it's not just you guys, it's every year. People, people don't want to talk to the characters. They don't want to email unless they're told to email. Have I played a lot of ARGs that handled that well? Yeah, I've gotten in email conversations with characters. Sometimes I've gotten in phone conversations with characters, where because basically creators always want you to see their stuff, right? So they'll help you as much as they can without kind of telling you. So Zach says he thinks Monday was rather fast. It was solved at 10:30 a.m. And so I got a lot of people saying, I was going to play in the afternoon and it was already over. Right. But I assume you put up Monday like first thing in the morning or the night before so that you could get on with things, your other stuff on Monday, and everybody, the first people to play on Monday played, right? And that's where it was. That final, how did you feel the difficulty of the various challenges and puzzles went? Players, was it too hard, too easy? Were you stuck on a thing, like you're staring at a thing forever and you just don't know what to do with it? Was there a difficulty ramp? Did it start easier and get harder, or was Monday actually easier than, say, Friday?
As somebody who played your ARG while trying to produce our ARG, I sort of noticed that you guys had a lot more intricate puzzles that required a lot more work each day. So it made a lot of sense to me that you guys had sort of zoomed through what we made, because we had smaller little things each day as opposed to you guys having like much bigger grand cool things.
Yeah.
I thought that they were both good. It was just like a very different way to roll out each ARG.
Yeah. So Rachel says the only thing they got stuck on was the carrot cake word scramble, but the underlines for the first word had 2 lines instead of 3. But you got through it. Su Yi says, based on our player group, everything seemed at a pretty good difficulty. Nothing we got stuck on for a very long time. Avery says he fixed the 2 lines instead of 3. WTF. I was told to fix that. It was never re-uploaded. Burn! Anger. Looks like Tech or somebody made Avery do some work that never got up. Zach feels like the early days were harder, but that might have been due to how we did more on those days. Monday was too simple. Luna says it was. Avery, yeah, like my dope menu. Where'd my menu go? I don't know, Avery. I don't know where your menu went.
Okay,
Liv,
I can talk about that one.
okay.
So originally we had planned on making a website for Anti-Sweetums. I'm gonna murder my friends. Sorry about the Discord
That's
notification.
okay.
We're solving a different ARG right now. So originally we had planned on making an Anti-Sweetums website, and that's where we were going to upload the video, the baking video, where you got one of the email clues. So when that didn't happen, we lost a lot of the art assets that Art had worked so hard on that were really cool, as well as making it a little bit harder for players to find that video, which was kind of a bummer, but it was something that we ended up having to sacrifice.
Okay. So it happens in every project where people make stuff for something that then just doesn't come together, and you have to cut it because yes, we have part B and C, but for some reason part A is going to take way too long. So sorry, we got to move on. Avery says took an entire so you weren't listening rapt during my lectures. You were working on stuff. I know you're listening, it's fine. Nick says write those intricate, delicious sounding descriptions. Yeah, put all this stuff in your portfolio. Nothing is ever wasted. You can use that come the next thing that you make. So and God knows I still come across stuff from ARGs from 4 years ago. 7 years ago, I got a birthday message from a character from an ARG from 2013. So that's exciting. In all, I want to say that I think this ARG was much more successful than this discussion would seem. I think you got through it. There was the only time there was a stall was because players had worked ahead, which is much better than you're stuck on a 5-part puzzle and there's no end in sight and you get a day behind. I think difficulty wise, this was nice. Everybody kind of moved through as it went up. There was never what I usually see on some day was usually on Saturday. There's a panic because nobody solved Friday's puzzles. And how are we going to get them through Saturday if they still haven't solved Friday's puzzles? How do we do this? And that's not what I saw this ARG. And the other thing, I think I said at the very beginning that every ARG is different. Some ARGs are much more puzzle oriented. Some ARGs are much more story oriented. And one of the traps of this dual ARG setup is that you're so involved in making your ARG that when the other ARG goes online, you get annoyed that it's not your ARG, right? That if you're a puzzle person and you've crafted these fiendish puzzles, you expect the other group to have fiendish puzzles just like yours, and maybe they've got amazing art and cool videos that you have to notice things in, and that's a totally different skill than solving codes, right? And it's a different thing. So play the ARG you're given, not the one you made, is my earlier thing, and I think you all did fairly well with that. The alliteration someone pointed out in the beginning, amusing. What was that? Tell me about it, Nick. No? Anti-Sweet Gums
You-
tweets.
Yeah, did you want me to unmute? Yeah, I just there
Yeah,
were
sure.
a bunch of tweets that I wrote that had a number of menu items which were cut that made it into the tweets though. So and they're all rather alliterative. So
I saw in the Discord somebody said, "Oh my God, I just realized her name is Granny Smith," and that's an apple. Holy moly! Right. So I think that was a cool moment, at least to see you realize it. Delectable donuts, blissful boysenberry cake, their signature sugar plums, and charming cinnamon chip muffins. Wow, that is a mouthful. Okay, so I think you all should be proud of yourselves both for making this and for solving it. Any last words from anybody? Nope. No. Yes. No. Okay. I will have the last say. Uh, Great ARG. Great playing. Everything went fine with some hiccups, but it's your first time making an ARG. Give yourself a break, right? There are people who have made multiple ARGs and they have panicked crashes and oh my God, whatever, the passwords have all been leaked. So pat yourselves on the back. Yes, Nick, Suyi, clap clap. Thank you for the ARG. And I'd like you to have a good summer. I will be finishing grading the rest of the week. Don't freak out if your grade is not posted until, I don't know, Monday, I think I have till, because that's going to be the rest of my week. And thanks for continuing to show up despite this weird Zoom setup. I appreciate actually seeing faces. And thanks to Eddie's cat for showing up and keeping us all chill. And at this point, I'm going to shut this down and we're going to switch over. No, you don't get Persona 4 Golden, Nick. Because it's probably just crawling with virus. It's crawling. Can't you see it?
Oh, really?
Virus all over it. So we're going to shut this one down, and hopefully we'll see you all over in the 4 p.m. slot where we will talk about the 4 p.m. ARG, also known as the Fairy ARG. I don't know. That's what I called it. Okay. Thank y'all. See ya.